Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. It's been quite a while since you've sat here with me.
It has.
How does it feel doing this for the first time as my husband?
Oh yeah. Ooh. That wasn't a fart for sure. That was the chairs were rubbing.
Stop swinging. You're such a nervous person when you do this. You're like a fidgeter.
Still does feel like a bit strange, husband and wife.
Yeah.
It makes you feel very old.
Yeah, I feel well old.
Yeah, but we'll get used to it soon.
Yeah.
Your terminology.
I find it better than like calling you my fiance. I don't really like
that.
word.
I didn't like that. I found that a bit of a mouthful as well.
It also makes you feel like a bit of a twat. And you're like, my fiance.
Yeah. That's the accent I would do when I say it as well.
I'm going to see my fiance.
Yeah.
So we had loads of questions on my video that was kind of like a life update, and it was lots of questions about our wedding, and we thought this was a really nice way to go about like just sharing a bit of information with you about our day, because we absolutely loved our wedding. We had the best day of our lives, didn't we? It was just incredible. Oh my god, it was so good. And it was also like quite stressful, like in the run up to it, so it was like such a big payoff when it was so good. So we thought we'd share our experience with you and do it in the form of a Q&A. So
nice.
Keep us on our phones so I can get the questions up.
Yep.
Go team, go team. Filming this on my vlogging camera because it's just a bit easier because we move around so much, Mr. Fidgeter here. So it means that we'll be in focus for hopefully the majority of it.
Longer.
The lighting is not great today. It's very, very windy and the light is just changing so much. So I apologise for that. I have ordered some new little compact lights and they should be here on Tuesday. So by the time this video goes out, I shall have them. Other than that, you really want to say a cool story, bro, don't you? Yeah, you really do.
I'm holding it back.
Yeah. Thank you so much for all of the love on our wedding video as well. Like, it was incredible, and I just keep watching it back and I'm like, oh. Ali actually put a wedding video up as well, and that is over on his channel, so I'll link his channel and that video down below. It's a bit different, so it's
a different edit.
Yeah, it's a different edit, so you see a little bit more of the day and a little bit more of like what we said to each other and stuff like that. So yeah, other than that, I've linked it all down below. Let's get into the questions.
Let's do this.
So, question number 1 is from Coco Blaze, and it says, are you planning to go on a honeymoon? And I have a strange feeling that our answers are going to be completely different on this one. Because what's your answer?
I think that we will go on a honeymoon at some stage in the first quarter of the year.
I don't know what, like, I don't know why you would ever think that we could go in the first quarter of the year.
It's because it needs to be close to the wedding.
We should have, exactly, but we went for Christmas instead.
Yeah. And
buying a house, I don't know where we're going to get the money to go on a...
Well, we've got 4 months to accumulate a little bit of money.
4 months, but we can't talk about it in this video, but there is a lot happening this quarter. I don't know why you think that...
There has been nothing set in stone for the honeymoon.
We get to travel loads and loads and loads, and it would be silly for us to put our money into that at this point in time.
No, I do agree on that.
You just want to go on holiday.
I just want to go and have a chilled... I just want to go back to the Maldives, to be honest.
I know.
Yeah.
I want to go back to the Maldives as well.
I would love that a lot.
I know. So anyway, we're not going on honeymoon. Question number 2 is from Paulina M, and it says, hey Lydia, congrats. My question is, what is the most tedious part of planning, and what was the most expensive apart from the venue? So, we both agree that the most tedious part would be...
the politics of organising family guest lists.
We agreed that doing the table plan and doing the bedroom plan...
so it's like the politics and organisation of humans. It's definitely the most tedious and it's the hardest.
Yeah, you want everyone to be happy and you don't want anyone to feel uncomfortable, but you also don't know what people feel and how people feel, so you just kind of have to do what you best know. And I mean, we didn't get it right completely. Like, people moved bedrooms and stuff, and that's fine. We just wanted people to feel happy, but we just kind of did what we thought was best. And the most expensive part was probably the bit that we didn't bank for, because like you kind of know that your venue is going to be the most expensive bit overall. Normally, and then you kind of know that food is like ridiculously expensive. But what we didn't bank on was how expensive like lighting and sound is, because our lighting and sound ended up costing more than our food.
Which is just ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, as a former electrician, I kind of have a good understanding of what goes into lighting. Not so much sound, but definitely the lighting aspect. And I know what the quotes were for the lighting, and I was like, ooh.
Ouch. When we saw how they transformed the room that we got married into the room at night, because I didn't really think it would be something that we would like, because what we'd seen at our venue was lots of like coloured lights, and we aren't really coloured light kind of people. No. And but when we walked in, it was like perfect, wasn't it?
Yeah, they've done an amazing job.
And I got my sparkly dance floor.
Sparkly dance floor. There was no regrets with the lighting and sound at all. Like, if we did it again, we'd do it all over again. It's definitely worth it. Yeah. Sets a good ambience.
Yeah, and it got like the party going and stuff, so it's really good. Charlotte Olivia Hughes has asked, what little touches did you do for your wedding?
That's a nice question.
Yeah, that is a nice question.
Yeah. So we did like morning letters. Are they little touches?
Yeah, that's a little touch.
That was nice.
But like for our guests and stuff, when
we did lots.
Yeah, because like with our wedding, it was more about everyone else, and we just wanted everyone and all of our family to have the most amazing time before Christmas. Yeah. And so we really wanted them to just come away. That's why we didn't involve them a lot in the planning, because we saw it as them not having anything to do with the actual planning and actually just getting to enjoy the whole thing. And so in their bedrooms they had personalised Santa sacks that we got from Etsy.
With their names on.
Yeah, they all had their names on, and we had like some orange juice in there, some kettle chips, paracetamol.
Like a little survival kit.
Yeah, they had like tissues and things like that in there.
Yeah,
so
for happy tears.
For happy tears. For their wedding favours, I loved the wedding favours, because they all got like because it was obviously before Christmas, we had Christmas crackers, and inside the Christmas crackers was little mini Jo Malone candles.
Yeah, that was nice.
And it was the same fragrance that we have most of the time burning in our house. So the big luxury candle that we have is
peony.
No.
Is it not the peony and suede?
No, it was lime, basil and mandarin.
Oh, is that the one that we had downstairs?
Yeah, I think that's it, lime, basil and mandarin.
Travel-sized candles.
Travel-sized candles, and also macarons, which were kind of the star of...
everyone's still talking about
Everyone just talks about macarons.
They're like the chewy, gooey sort of macarons. Like the one. So we put everyone up for a couple of nights. So I think the evening before we gave everyone mulled wine, which I thought was really nice. Yeah. We got everyone in the festive spirit, and it was a nice chance as well for like my family, Lydia's family, to sort of like bond and get to know each other properly as like an entire unit. Obviously our parents have met and stuff, but then our extended family, like our cousins and stuff, had an opportunity to meet people, which was nice. Yeah, that was really good, and it took kind of like the pressure off the actual day. Yeah, didn't it? We really liked that. And then in the order of service, we had little tissues folded inside the order of service, like in little envelopes, and on the inside it said for happy tears. I've got one of those out. It's downstairs though.
Yeah, it's for Nan Gordon, isn't it? Yeah. So yeah, those are just a few of the little touches that we did on our day that we were so happy that we did, even though with the personalised Santa sacks we actually had to order 2 batches because we got the first size wrong.
Very big. Santa sacks.
So everyone got like actual Santa sized sacks, like big enough to deliver presents to all of the kids in the world, and then they got the little mini ones that we initially wanted. Question I don't know what, these aren't numbered. I don't know what
question number, these aren't numbered.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay, so for this question, Leah G has asked, what are the things on a wedding that you think are worth spending money on, and what are the things that might be okay to save a little on? So the one thing that I think that we can save, that we saved on, that we didn't have at our wedding, that I didn't feel like we missed, was we didn't have a band. We had someone sing a couple of songs. That was Luke Pickett, who's the guy, like, we just love his music, so we had him sing like a couple of songs. But we also had Zoe London DJing, and she's an amazing DJ, so we didn't feel like we missed out by not having a band, but yet so many people were like, oh, you've got to have a band. Our party ended up going on until like 5 in the morning, so we felt like we achieved exactly what we set out to do. But in terms of like things that I'm glad we spent money on,
aside from everything, because we have no regrets.
Like we don't have any regrets in terms of where we spent money.
I think like our main focus on the day was just to ensure that everybody had a good time. So to make sure that the evening and the reception of our wedding was something that everybody was just gonna like party. So we wanted the sort of like mood and the ambiance and everything to come together to create a really nice atmosphere. And I think we achieved that. And like we said earlier, it did cost a little bit of money for our lighting and sounds, but it was definitely worth it because it definitely created that really nice atmosphere. So
and lots of champagne.
Lots of champagne. So yeah, I think that was something that I would say is quite important to create a comfortable, happy sort of vibe at the wedding, and however that is, and whatever you need to do to invest into making that happen, I think that's something that's quite integral for the day.
Yeah. What was the reason that you got married on a Tuesday instead of a traditional Friday or Saturday wedding?
It's cheaper.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. Like, obviously it's cheaper. Like,
yes.
I mean, I think it was a lot cheaper as well, wasn't it?
And 5-figure cheaper.
Yeah.
I might be talking out of turn. It was cheaper.
Yeah.
It was worth doing, and also because it was so close to Christmas, a lot of people had actually broken up for work anyway.
Yeah.
And so we weren't asking a lot for people to have time off work as such, because a lot of people actually had it off anyway.
Yeah, so it was
like a normal weekend.
And also it gets that point that like you just kind of be like, you almost sometimes, this sounds bad, but like you want to make it a little bit difficult so that you don't have
I know what you're gonna say.
You don't have, so like people that don't want to be there, they're not there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because
if you really want to be there, you'll take a day off work to be there.
Yeah, that was
the mentality.
It gets to a point when you're like doing the numbers and you're like, I really like you, but I don't like you enough to pay £100 for you to eat. But yeah, no, that's just me being like honest. Like
it was a nice culling method.
Yeah. Tactical cull.
Although everybody I think we invited came.
Yeah. Next question is, did you choose to have all of the stuffed animals at the venue, or are they a permanent feature of the venue?
No, we didn't choose to have them there. They're just there.
You can have them removed
for £5,000.
I was like, they can stay.
Yeah, we can stay. I think they create. They're part of the venue. I mean, if you don't want that at your wedding venue, don't get married there.
Yeah.
We were well aware you can't miss them when we went to look at the venue.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're just they are there as a fixture. I think they do sell them. Some of them.
I don't know, but the actual like decor of the venue is quite like eclectic, so it's
very eccentric.
Yeah, it works really well, and they're all antiques, so they're not like new things. They're all like antiques, and so it's for us. It just kind of it was part of the vibe, so we weren't bothered by them.
No. It's quite fascinating.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, our grandparents, they loved it, didn't they?
Yeah.
They were just like, every like nook and cranny there was something to see and
to look at.
Yeah, they loved it, and the little like the boys.
The boys loved. So Lydia's nieces, they.
My what?
Your nieces. Lydia's nephews. Lydia's nephews are obsessed with cars.
Yeah.
And they had like vintage Rolls Royce model cars. And
like racing cars.
But they could actually get in them.
Yeah.
And like steer them and stuff. They were loving it, like in their element.
Did Ali see? This is from, I can't say your name. I don't know. Did Ali see you before the ceremony, as you both have photos where you're both not wearing a wedding ring? If so, did you both decide to do that? Or would you not have preferred to have kept the surprise for walking down the aisle? So, this is quite a like common thing that's now done. It's more in America, I think, that they have like what's called a reveal.
Yes. So it wasn't initially planned, was it?
No, it wasn't. It was when we realised how late on we would finish our ceremony, and it just seemed to work out better for us in the.
It basically fell that the earliest slot we could have a registrar come and do our paperwork would mean that by the time we'd finished, it would have been almost dark outside, which would have cut things very fine to get photos of us on our day. And obviously we want the memories, and having the images for us was really important. So we decided, from the recommendations from our videographer, that we should do a reveal, also known as a first look. And so I went onto YouTube and I took a look at them, and they're actually really, really nice. It's quite a nice way. It's quite American, I think.
Yeah.
I might be wrong saying that, but they're really nice, and it takes away a lot of the pressure, doesn't it?
Yeah,
when
massively.
You're coming down the aisle, it's not as emotional as it could be.
We didn't want that. We didn't want to spend the whole day like crying and sobbing and stuff. We wanted this to be like a happy thing, and it felt like
it would be happy tears, but there's like it's like there's so much emotion. It's very raw on the day, isn't it? I think it's like, oh my god, like a mixture of emotions.
Yeah, like and I think that completely like dispersed those emotions, and we just felt so comfortable. I mean, I still choked up when I was doing my vows and stuff, but not like
not as much as you could have done.
And I really just didn't want to be like choking my way through everything.
How nervous were you when we did the reveal?
Yeah, oh my god, I was so nervous.
Liz was shaking, and I think you were nervous about what I thought about your dress and all sorts. So not only did it help in that aspect, I don't think we really anticipated that, but it definitely gave us the opportunity to get some really lovely images.
And
that wow, the day.
Like our images are insane. So we're so happy that we did it. We're so happy.
We managed to get some pictures afterwards, of course.
Yeah, with our family. So we did like the pictures with the family after the ceremony. There was enough light to do that, but we just wanted to be sure that we got all of the stuff that we wanted.
Yeah.
And
we had a morning to fill.
Yeah, and Ali's very particular about things. So yeah, it was his idea.
Great idea.
It was a great idea. I'm interested to hear about your dress story. You said a while back that you were designing one with a designer that you would not mention, and then you ended up buying a pre-existing design from Halfpenny Shop. What changed your mind?
Well,
so I think I already explained this, but the thing is I think your mind changes a lot in a lot of the things that you want for your wedding, and what I thought that I wanted in a wedding dress initially was completely different to what I ended up going for. So yeah, that's the thing that I realised quite early on, was that in like my head I'd always thought that I wanted these certain types of dresses that were, you know, really tight and slinky and gorgeous, and I've seen so many girls that look absolutely amazing in them. But actually when it came to it, I wanted something a little bit different. I spoke about all of this stuff because I'm quite an open book, and I wanted the whole process to be talked about and not just show like the best bits or things like that. So yeah, I just kind of talked about these things, and I didn't ever think it would be such a big thing that I went in a different direction. But I loved my wedding dress, and I obviously got to design a top for it that was very much me, and it suited me perfectly, the dress that I had, because I wanted to feel like I wore my wedding dress the whole time. The only thing was that I wasn't sure whether you were going to like it, because you don't like mermaid style.
Yeah, so well, I have seen some really nice ones, but in general I'm not a huge fan of the mermaid dress. So there's women that have worn them that look amazing, but some of the ones that you see, I don't know, it's kind of like, it's almost like someone's got their skirt and pulled it down a little bit and just left it there.
A man's perception of a mermaid dress. Yeah. I was quite nervous because I knew that I felt amazing in my dress, but I also wanted you to think I looked amazing, because it's obviously important to me.
Oh no, she looks incredible. So.
Oh, it's a very happy body.
Yeah. No, it looks really
because nice. It wasn't like too poofy, even though it was like ruffly and beautiful.
And it was a nice length.
Yeah.
I mean, he still had to kind of like shuffle around her, around the back end. Yeah. It wasn't too long. It wasn't like annoyingly long or anything, was it?
No, I didn't. Oh, I found wearing a veil really, that was probably the worst bit, wearing a veil.
Why?
Because like it was so long that people would just like tread on it. Like literally.
On it once.
Yeah, you trod on it and I was like, but yeah, so anyway, that's the story with the dress. I also had the most incredible wedding dress designer ever. Kate is an absolute genius. She is the coolest person I've probably ever met, other than you, babe. You're really cool. Yeah, but no, she is so cool, and it was so funny when we were there once. She was like, oh yeah, I'm going out tonight. I'm going, my friend is getting, I think it was an MBE or something like that, or an MBE. Yeah, and we were like, oh, okay, cool. She was like, yeah, she's one of my bridesmaids. I was like, wow. It's only Erin O'Connor. Erin O'Connor was one of her bridesmaids, and she just casually went to, you know, go and get her award with her. So it was just really cool, and I loved every moment of it with Kate, and I'm hoping to put together some videos about like what I wore, because there's some of my outfits that you didn't really see much of, so I'm going to be doing a whole kind of what I wore video, so hopefully I'll be able to do that when it comes back from the dry cleaners.
Yeah, you got a little bit dirty when you're dragging it outside.
I just didn't, like, I had a little loop on my wrist, and I didn't want to have it like on my loop. I just loved the way it looked, like trailing behind, so yeah, I let it trail and then I regretted it.
And then in the evening you tried to put it on your loop.
I did, yeah, for dancing, because otherwise I would have probably ripped it.
Yeah, people would.
Yeah. Do you have any regrets about your wedding day?
Like we said earlier, no regrets.
Got fluff in my mouth.
Not everything went like to plan, in terms of there were little small things that didn't happen that were supposed to happen, but I don't think anything really matters on the day.
No.
And when I say, like, to give you an example, the confetti was supposed to be thrown as we walked back down the aisle, and it wasn't, and I think it was because the registrar had said quite a lot before we walked down the aisle, and people had kind of got a bit confused whether they should or shouldn't. They were actually...
So Leo threw some, didn't he?
Yeah.
Just Leo like that, and my brother was like, stop it!
Yeah, so I think everyone was asked to not get their phones out to take pictures, so the photographers could get a nice shot of the confetti with no mobile phones in the shot. and everyone got their phone out and nobody shot confetti, so it's like they got confused
yeah,
with what they were supposed to do, but it didn't matter.
No, it didn't
these
matter.
things just don't matter.
And we just did it outside, didn't we?
Yeah, and there was a few things along the day. I think I was going to give out some wedding favours to the mums, and they were left in their bedrooms, which is just absolutely fine. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's just the small little things that didn't go to plan.
Mince pies.
But
everyone was supposed to have freshly baked mince pies, and they never turned up.
Yeah. So, but there were just little things that didn't matter. The only regret that I made was doing like 10 shots at 3 or 4 a.m. And going back to the room.
Yeah, so I walked
wrestling my best men on the bed.
I walked into the bridal suite, and there's rose petals all over the bed, and it looked beautiful.
Romantic.
And there's Neil, Ali's best man, and Matt, the other best man.
They had me in my pants.
They were undressing him because he couldn't undress himself. Then
it sounds horrendous.
Then we were up until about 7 in the morning because he was being sick.
Yeah.
It was.
So it wasn't so much a regret. It was because I just got too drunk. Yeah, I got carried away in the moment. Yeah, it kind of just hit me
at the end
at like 5 a.m.
Yeah.
And then I was like, ooh.
Yeah. So next question is, did you get to eat any of your wedding food, or were you too busy talking to guests? If so, what was your favourite thing you ate on your day?
Yeah, we did. We got to eat all of our wedding food. I did try absolutely everything.
I didn't.
Apart from the evening sliders and canapes that came out, but that was because we just had a massive meal. We had the wedding lunch, no, the wedding breakfast, which also always threw me because it's actually a wedding dinner.
Yeah, like 4 o'clock.
Yeah, but they called it a wedding breakfast.
Yeah.
And obviously that was a huge meal. So by the time we'd finished that, we'd start drinking. And when I start drinking, I can't really eat.
Me either.
When all the sort of canapes and sliders came out at like 9, 10 p.m, I wasn't hungry. So I didn't get to try those. And the only thing that I wish I'd had more of, I did try it, was the wedding cake.
I didn't even try our wedding cake. I didn't even get a slice.
It was amazing. I mean, we did try it essentially because we had samples before the wedding day of it, and it tasted the same. So you have tried.
Yeah,
you know what it tasted.
I know that it tasted incredible, and looked beautiful.
It looked insane. So the whole food situation was, we did eat, and I thought I wasn't going to eat as much through nerves, but no. I mean, even on the wedding day, I woke up and I was like, oh, I can't bother to get out of bed. I was so tired.
Thanks for telling me that.
Lydia held up the party.
I did. I was an hour late, and I'm not someone that is ever late. Like, it was literally because when other people do your hair and makeup, it takes so much longer. So, yeah. Yeah,
but it was fine. It all went fine.
Yeah. No, it was good. I had the starter, one of the starters, which was Hendrick's cured salmon.
Oh, it was amazing.
That was amazing. There was also like duck
pate
and stuff like that. I had that. I didn't eat a lot of the meal just because I again can't.
I ate it all. I ate the whole thing. Lick the plate.
Everyone said that everything was absolutely incredible, and that's kind of, again, just what mattered to us. It didn't matter whether we enjoyed it. It was more about them. No, I didn't. I honestly, I didn't eat most of it. So I was just more like, if you enjoyed it, that makes me so happy. Yeah. Especially to like impress my Italian side of my family. Like, that takes a lot. So this is from Maddie Mavro. Is, can you explain what you did over the 3 days, and also can you tell us about your vows?
Yes. So what do you want to do, vows or days?
I'll do the days, you do the vows. Okay. So basically what we did over the 3 days was, you can hire the venue for either one day, like one night, or 2 nights. Okay. And we did 2 nights because we had people coming over from like France and Ireland and places like that. So we just wanted them to have like a base, and we wanted it to kind of be a bit like a house party, which was quite cool. Yeah. And so on the first day we arrived at 3 p.m. and our guests arrived at 4 p.m. Yeah. And everyone checked into the rooms that we'd allocated them, and then straight after that we had afternoon tea, which was more of tea and cakes.
Yeah.
So we were quite glad that we'd actually put on food for the evening, because we nearly didn't, because when I have afternoon tea, usually I don't have dinner because I'm so full. Yeah. So we were really unsure as to whether we needed to put on food, but we actually did in the end, and we were so glad because everyone was ravenous. And we got someone that I've known since I was little. They've got a food business called Smoky Mac, and they're like the food, oh my god, it was like street food, but wow, like it was so good. Yeah. And so they pulled up and cooked up a storm, and everyone got their food, and we're very, very happy with it.
Yep.
And then everyone went to bed, And then obviously we woke up.
Everybody then had mulled wine.
Oh yeah, sorry, yeah, my god, yeah. We had mulled wine in the snug, and the lads played pool, and there was like cigars and stuff.
No cigars.
Yeah, people had cigars.
Did they?
Yeah, in the.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
I didn't have one.
No, well, you don't smoke.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, so the boys were playing like pool and stuff like that, and everyone kind of like explored the house and checked out each other's rooms because all of the rooms are really different.
Yeah.
And then we obviously went to bed. I slept with Carrie that night because I didn't want to sleep by myself. I slept okay. I thought I wasn't going to sleep, but I was so calm, so chilled, and I had an alright night's sleep, so that was good. We all got ready in the bridal suite and had breakfast, and then we did the reveal, and then we had the ceremony, and then we had the dinner, and then we had the party. And then you had the after party. Yeah, so that was when everyone went down to the basement and things got dirty, and it was really cool. I loved that so much.
And the next day we were supposed to have breakfast, weren't we?
Yeah, we were supposed to have breakfast, and unfortunately Ali was in no fit state to...
I wouldn't even say I rolled out of bed, I slivered out.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. They had to get him this like Japanese Red Bull thing.
Yeah, the butler gave me this Japanese Red Bull, and it was like cough medicine, sort of like syrupy.
Yeah.
It was Red Bull, it had the Red Bull like branding. And it did actually give me like quite an immense amount of energy for about 4 hours, and then it sort of like come back in again. I was like, ugh.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And then so we woke up and then we checked out and went home, and I got really ill and we spent the rest of the time on the sofa. So it was brilliant. It was really good.
It was a crazy
few days,
and
but
it was lovely to get the family together, which is the reason why we did it.
Yeah.
And then our vows, we actually wrote our vows ourselves because we wanted to do something that was sort of a bit personal to us.
Yeah.
So I think we sort of did have a bit of a structure. We didn't know what each other's vows were, but I did say to Lydia I wanted to do like an intro, 3 promises, and then a vow. And that's how we structured our vows. And when I say we wanted to make them personal, you might have seen in the wedding videos, we said stuff like, I'd promise to protect you from spiders. There's obviously the serious stuff, like I vow to, you know, give you eternal loyalty and love and blah, blah, blah. So the vows were sort of like a mixture of kind of like personal and then sort of like romantic as well.
And also funny, like nothing about the day was like too serious.
No.
Because both of our families are massive jokers.
Yes.
And
we're not they appreciated it, didn't they?
Yeah, we didn't want to we don't take ourselves too seriously. But we wanted it to be fun and light-hearted and not too smushy.
Yes.
So we had
Plus we wouldn't have survived.
No.
I think if you plan a speech ever, try to break it up with a little bit of humour.
Yeah.
Because it just saves you, because otherwise you just turn into like a mess.
Yeah, because at the times when we were really saying like how we felt about each other, it was like
start opening up, you start sort of like seizing up.
Yeah. So yeah, that was our vows, and people there were quite a few people that were like, why are you reading your vows? Like, we're not
let's address this, right?
We are not professional speech givers.
Yeah. And also I did know my vows off by heart. Well done, Luby.
This is life with a Bengal.
So yeah, with our vows, I feel like I definitely could have recited them on a day. Like I had memorised them, and I think you just get so nervous, and it's just a lot safer. And why run the risk of getting them wrong? Because you don't get a second chance at it. So I just had my paper there just to check. I think I did the same, and then I also had like a 10-minute long speech that followed like 2 hours later. So I didn't want to put too much pressure and get confused about what I was saying in that and put those into my vows, because I think I also wrote a morning letter, and I remember when I was practicing my groom speech, I started saying things from my morning letter, like I was trying to like jump what I'd written and memorise it, and I kept on getting confused. So I was just like, I need to make sure that I have the paper in front of me, so I stay on track.
It's just, I think it's like a non-question, like it's, of course we would, because it's nerve-wracking and emotions are running high enough. Like,
and it's not something we do on a day-to-day. So if we were actors and we're people that sort of like run scripts, then that's fine. But everything we do is non-scripted, so we're not used to memorising and stuff like that. Yeah, it's just like, it's such, emotions are running so high. There's so many people there, and everyone's got their eyes on you. It's quite nerve-wracking. So I just, I mean, and also every single video we watched on YouTube, they were reading their vows off of a bit of paper. So we were good. We were good. And this is the final question, thank God, because it's really hot in here. Ali, did you tell the videographer beforehand exactly what and how you wanted everything captured?
How did that work for you two? And lastly, since then, have you edited any of the video?
No, I didn't actually. I did really want to speak to AR and just say to him, like, this is kind of like the itinerary of our day, and then meet him the evening before the wedding, just to sort of go through a few of the locations where there was going to be a lot of activity, so he could like set up some angles, takes off a little bit of the pressure on the day and stuff. But unfortunately, AR had a very busy day the day before, and then when he was coming down, he locked his keys in his car and he had to come and get rescued. So he had a complete disaster. So I don't think he got to the venue until about midnight, and then the next day he was up at something stupid like 6 AM filming sunrise. So didn't get the opportunity to sort of like run things through with him. However, he's done weddings many times before, so just let him get on with it and do his thing. And I have edited, and it is already uploaded, my own edit using his footage. So after Christmas, after the dust had settled, I went and met up with him in a pub, and I just took a hard drive, downloaded all of the footage that they took, and I made my own wedding video, which is different to Lydia's wedding video, using AR's content, who's the videographer. The day goes so fast, it's so overwhelming, and everything kind of turns into a bit of a blur. Like, you remember parts, but you definitely forget stuff, and then when you watch the video back, you're like, oh yeah, I remember that. And it's just something really nice. Photos also do that as well, that they bring back the memories, but I think having video footage of stuff, certainly of like the speeches and stuff.
I couldn't remember walking down the aisle.
Couldn't you?
No, yeah. I couldn't remember.
I can't remember what Lydia's dad had said in his speech as much, and the best men, I enjoyed it in the moment, and then afterwards I was like, I remember little parts of their speeches. Having a videographer at your wedding is definitely something that I would suggest if you can. That's a wrap. That is a wrap. So apologies for the lighting, and hopefully this isn't going to be too long, but thank you for watching, and I hope that we answered the majority of your questions. There were so many, so we literally couldn't do all of it, so hopefully you got your answers in this video. Yes. But if you'd like another Q&A, let me know. Let me know in the comments below. But I will see you in my next video. I hope you've enjoyed this one. Don't forget to hit subscribe on my channel, and also head over and subscribe to my husband's channel. We'll see you in, well, I'll see you in my next video on Sunday. Bye. See you later. Bye. Bye bye. Bye. Bye now.